third grade, I'm going to walk you through and explain to you how to set up your interactive notebook. So you're going to need to have the copies of your labels and everything that to start your notebook. Some things we will handwrite in here, other things will be cut and glued in here. There will be notes. We will do little games like foldable games. We will put just anything and everything that's going to help us on our third grade math this year. So the first thing you're going to need is a notebook. Now I like the 5-star notebook just because they are very durable and will last the whole year. They're just made better than some of the other notebooks. Now this one is college rule. You do not have to have a college rule notebook. You can have a regular wide rule notebook. I got college rule just because it holds a lot more information and has more space than the wide rule. But if you just have already bought your supplies and you just have a wide ruled regular notebook, that's perfect. You're going to want to cut out your title page. So you're just going to trim around the outside. You're going to take your glue stick. You're going to put glue all the way around the edges. And then you're going to make what we call a barn door. You're going to just put an X from corner to corner on your glue and then stick it down, smooth it out on the front of your notebook. This is your title page. And it's going to have a blank here. That blank is for you to write your name. So I'm going to write on here, Mrs. Coleman, and then it's already got the apostrophe S, third grade math interactive notebook. So all you put here in this blank is your first name or your first and last name if you prefer. Now if you have free time later on and you want to decorate and color your title page, that'll be fine. But I'm just going to go over and show you how to set your notebook up to get it started for this school year. Once you get your title page on, now again I like 5-star because it will have these pocket folders in here that you can use. A regular notebook probably will not have that, that's okay. Once you get into your notebook, you're going to come to your very first page of notebook paper. This is going to be titled our table of contents. So we're going to keep a running record here of our page numbers and what information, just so it's easier for us to locate when we go back to review for tests or if we're reviewing for our state test. Now down at the bottom, since this is our table of contents page, on this bottom right corner, I want you to put the letter I. Now all books, any book that you have has a table of contents, and the purpose of that is to help you locate the information you need quicker so you know what page. So also if you want to go ahead and write, our first page is going to be numbers and operations in base 10, NBT, and that's going to be starting on page 1. That is the first standard that we're going to be working on this year in third grade. So once again, that's numbers and operations in base 10, parentheses, capital NBT, close parentheses, page 1. Now all the directions for what I'm going over in this video are on your Google Classroom page, and you can go back and rewatch this video as many times as you need. Now that's what you're going to find on page 1. Now you'll see I've already started what our next thing is going to be. We're going to start out with place value, and place value is going to start on page 2. And you see I've got a hyphen because I'm not quite sure what page we're going to end on yet. As we put our information in there and we see how many pages we need, we'll put that ending number here. Now is it okay if your notebook later on in the year has different page numbers here than mine? Sure it is, because remember I'm using a college rule notebook, which means mine's going to be bigger, the lines are smaller, which means I have more space to write. You may be using a wide rule notebook. So you may need more pages for different things that we use than I do. As long as you have your page numbers written in your table of contents, when I say, okay, I need everybody to turn to your rounding section, you're going to be able to go to your table of contents, find where you wrote rounding, and then look and see what your page number is so that you can find it in your notebook. Okay, so that's the very first page is our start of our table of contents. Now we're going to need more than just one page for our table of contents. So on the next page, only thing you see in my notebook that I have wrote down here in the right bottom corner is I. This is going to be the second page that I'm leaving in my notebook in case I need more space for my table of contents. Then we're going to do one more page. It's going to be labeled I. Because I think 3 pages is plenty of space for our table of contents. Okay, so then you're going to get to page 4. Now you also are going to need your second title page. Remember, we just wrote it in our table of contents. You're going to want to cut it out, do your barn door gluing. Remember, that's going around all your edges, and then making the big X in the middle like a barn door would look, and then smooth it out and glue it on. This, of course, is the 4th page in your notebook, but we're not going to call this page 4 because we're not counting our table of contents as our pages. So down here in the bottom right corner, we're actually going to write page 1. This is going to be our official first page of our interactive notebook. Now you should also have a circle tab that you're going to want to cut that circle out, and you fold it along the black line. There'll be a black line on that circle, and you just glue that in this top right corner of your paper. And that way, if you see and you look at the side of my notebook, it's pretty easy to find that tab. If you know you need to be in numbers and operations, you can use this little circle tab just to make it easy for you to locate. Again, if you want to color this page later on during some free time, that is perfectly fine with me. So let's go back one more time. We have cut and put our title page on with our name written on the line. We have our table of contents, which starts I, and we've already wrote numbers and operations in base 10, MBT2, page 1. The next page we've wrote I, that's still part of our table of contents. The next page we have I, still part of our table of contents. And then we come to page 1. And page 1 is where we're going to see our standard numbers and operations in base 10, MBT. Okay? Again, go back and rewatch this as many times as you need. Now, we're not going to get all this today, but you can see I've already got some things put in here that we're going to be working on. We'll get to that on another day. We're just getting your notebook started. The last thing I want us to look at is when in our notebook this year, multiplication facts are a very, very important part of 3rd grade. So in the very back of your notebook, so we're going to flip all the way to the back cover. I'm still going. So this is the back of my notebook. I have no more paper in here. This is it. This is the last thing on the notebook. In the back of your notebook, I am asking you to save the last 7 pages. So I'm at the back of the notebook. I'm going to count back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you get the 7 last pages, this is going to be saved for our multiplication and division fact families. So on that 7th page from the back, I went ahead and put the title, Multiplication Facts, a little and symbol, or you can write and, Division Fact Family. Okay, that's going to be the title. Now, I'm not going to put a page number on here because I really don't want to go through and count how many pages are in my notebook, and my number of pages is probably will not match your number of pages unless you have the exact same notebook I do. So I'm not going to put a page number here. But now if you want to go through and count all your pages and put a page number, by all means, go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave this blank down here, and you should know when Ms. Coleman says, turn to your multiplication facts of 3, you're going to know all your multiplication facts and your division fact families are in the very, very back of your notebook. So you'll know to turn to the very last pages. Now later on you'll see that we will put our multiplication facts in here, little tricks and things that I know to try to help you learn your facts, and you'll have these with you so you can study from home. So that gets your notebook ready for me. It's ready for us to start our lessons in 3rd grade math. Go back and watch this anytime that you need to help you get started. I will have all of the pages attached to your Google Classroom. This video will be attached to your Google Classroom. If you have questions, you can always put a comment underneath the materials for your interactive notebook. All right.